MaJaMa Jams is brought to you by Whoa, Pace Yourself, Horse.
Great Britain has brought us some of the most whimsical characters for kids ever created. Mary Poppins, Harry Potter, Winnie the Pooh, the Teletubbies, Willy Wonka, Peppa Pig. That's why tonight we'll talk about the most delightful of them all. Gorgo.
Paddington!
Fine. Paddington.
MaJaMa. MaJaMa. MaJaMa.
What's your name? Do bears even have names?
Of course we do. My name is...
Beg your pardon?
Welcome back, everyone, to MaJaMa Jams, a show where we discuss other people's work to avoid doing our own. And no day isn't more pleasant to be discussing someone else's work than today, because we have just scrubbed our brains free of all the awfulness of the modern world and watched that adorable, behatted bear named Paddington.
Paddington!
Paddington.
Paddington. Paddington.
Oh my gosh darn jeepers creepers. This movie from 10 years ago already in 2014, I have heard much about over the past chunk of years of being perfect and charming. And then, of course, there was the 100% on Rotten Tomatoes for Paddington 2, which has been ruined now. I just checked by some dickwad who probably, it's probably, what's that guy's name? Armand White, who brought down the Toy Story 3 score, which is unforgivable. Come on, man. It doesn't matter what your real life opinion is. To keep the Toy Story 3 score 100%, you lie. Armands. So, Paddington lived up, the movie nerds will know what I'm talking about. Paddington lived up to the hype. I am incredibly charmed by it. This movie is excellent, and guess what, guys? It's coming back to Jason Ellsworth's favorite discussion in movies of tone, because you can get away with anything when you got it right. And Mateo and Matthew, my brothers here on the couch, this movie has it right. From the first line where we acknowledge there's a bear, my brother says, gosh darn it, look what you can do with a simple line acknowledging it.
Keep your eyes down. There's some sort of bear over there. Probably selling something.
Good evening.
No, thank you.
So basically what we're going to do is
I
break
didn't
down.
say gosh darn it.
We're going to break down. We're not using
your catchphrase.
harsh language when it comes to Paddington. We're going to break down.
You just say dick wad.
Well, that was an appropriate term for a guy that ruins the perfect percentage of Toy Story 3.
Listen, this is not a movie that should be reviewed or discussed. It is perfect. It is charming. It is amazing. It's everything that movies and family movies and life should be. Just don't touch it and let's discuss something else for the rest of the
Let's
episode.
leave. So what I was saying about Godzilla X Kong is that no, Matthew's right. And I think that occasionally, if you wanted to have a discussion of literalness, can we ever call any piece of art perfect? That might be discussion interesting to a certain type. But I feel like this is about as GD close as we're going to get. It really is wonderful. And it's just one of those movies where every little morsel works. And especially for comedy freaks like us, I want to get into the stuff that made us laugh. So, not you. Mateo is going to take...
Not you. Not you.
Something about you, though. Mateo's going to take the synopsis, which is pretty straightforward. Again, this is based on a beloved children's book, right?
Yes.
I think we all grew up reading it.
Did we?
I didn't.
Oh.
We grew up reading it.
Did you?
Yeah, I totally remember Paddington Bear from my reading days with Mom.
You remember the bear. I like his boots.
I met the bear in London, England, which is in England, but just as a character. I had no idea.
He's real.
Yes, I had no idea what he was. If he was, I thought at first I thought it was a mascot of Hamley's Toys, which is this gigantic toy store on Regent Street or Regent Street. I don't know. People from Great Britain will hate me because I always.
They already do.
Yeah, I know. I always mispronounce the name of their towns, streets, and everything.
Mr. Brown, that is extremely rude.
The story, as it goes, is that an explorer goes to the darkest Peru and finds a very rare species of bears, which are extremely intelligent and they can even talk.
This is London. That's where I'm from.
London.
Good Lord.
After a tragedy of an earthquake. Little Paddington, who is not yet named Paddington, is sent to London because aforementioned explorer told the family.
And if you ever make it to London, you can be sure of a very warm welcome.
He is sent by his aunt to London. He meets the family of the Browns, who take him in at first just for one night. But then they discover little pieces of the puzzle, thanks to the hat that the explorer has left to the family.
The iconic hat.
That he was an explorer, but we found out that he was expelled by the Explorer Guild. And his daughter...
He stepped in dog shit.
I'm sorry?
Sorry,
Oh.
You know what's so funny is there was a moment of terror, completely 100% not for my own personal feelings, which I wouldn't care, but just over being a Mateo's rogue. I feel like that feeling you inspired me says a lot about my life. Well, I don't care about that, but I'm worried about messing up my buddy's house. That could be smeared in it if it's just my personal concern.
Also, it would be very scary because if you've been trapped in here for over 90 days, where does the...
I don't think that's dog shit, buddy.
Yes. Did you flush? Anyways, the daughter of this explorer is now grown up, and she wants to not really take revenge, but she wants to complete what her dad never did. So bring at least one of these bears to the Natural History Museum. So she targets Paddington, and the family managed to save him from being
Stuffed.
And
they all become one happy family.
Just
nicely
one.
done. He should do it all the time. You know? He really should.
No argument on this side.
That was clean. Matthew just stumbles through. Even as a comedic device, it's just tiring. Let's kick off with this.
Give me strength.
We recently had another movie with a CGI bear, the abysmal cocaine bear, which, after watching our episode, Logan texted me today and said, you know, I agree. It does suck. And that was nice to hear.
It's always good to be validated.
He's going to be excited when he hears that.
Beth, we should go.
So we kick off with a shot in black and white in Peru. And 10 years old, and I was kind of like, that bear looks a little like I can tell it's CGI. And then when we got to our main show with the color in present day, this is a gorgeously rendered CGI bear. It's one of those times you can see every individual hair. The eyes are very expressive, and there's moments when his face is in the toilet where the water swirling around is absolutely beautiful effects work.
There was one thing that it always hit me. I think that they went a very smart route. Had it been Disney, the bear would have been 20 times more expressive, more different faces. Instead, he is, I don't want to say neutral for the movie because he emotes, but he is in several scenes. He is so, it's like those masks of the Kabuki theater and Chinese theater that, according to the position of the body, they assume you project the emotion, and so when he actually emotes, like when there is the joke of the stare.
Are you certain there was an explorer? You didn't just find a hat and make up some... What?
It works much better because up till that point you've seen a face that is bear-esque without too exaggeration, and in that case the eyes grow bigger.
It's called a hard stare. My aunt taught me to do them when people had forgotten their manners.
And so it's even more efficacious.
Dude's over here saying Disney would have over-animated the animal face when Favreau's Lion King exists. Oh my God, Mufasa's dead.
Well, it's kind of a nice marriage of that middle ground where you do have a bear looking like an actual bear.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you do give him enough expressions and
there's a close-up of him in the toilet, like I said, and that was when I just like, wow, this is really beautiful work.
When it detaches from...
No, I love that scene though, where he's just...
Oh yes, that's beautiful. But there's just when he puts his head into drink when he's got the mouthwash, and it's just a close up of him in the water, and I was like, this is absolutely gorgeous effects work. I feel like it did hit the sweet spot. I don't know what was up, if it was the black and white or the adult, but something in the beginning.
Well, it was also the very first shot. The movie will lull you into it and be like, okay, I can accept this.
Well,
which is kind of like the beginning of Up, which also starts with newsreel.
Oh, black and white, you mean?
Yeah, they introduced the guy who goes with the dirigible into.
Oh yes, yeah.
With all the dogs and stuff.
But I was saying more so like your eyes will adjust eventually, and if it's a good movie and if you're into it, you'll.
That's a very good point. But it's interesting with CGI because Cocaine Bear, you know, it's a studio. What was the studio?
Fox.
Paramount. Yeah. Not that important. It's a studio movie, and the bear didn't look bad. The whole movie, there's a little bit of the CGI. Now, recently, I'm going to call myself out on camera. I don't like saying this, but then again, like Matthew said, the movie is good enough it'll carry you along.
I'll say it.
It's been 5 years since Crawl, and I hadn't seen it since. I put it on the other day on streaming and watched it. And when the croc first came up, I had a little like, because I could kind of tell, and the only reason I say that is because when I first saw Crawl, I was like blown away, and I couldn't believe how realistic they look. And then, as usual, I was infuriated by the people on the internet being like, "Yeah, it's great, but those gators look fake." And I was like, damn, does CGI move that fast? Even after 5 years, you kind of notice the effect. But then, as Matthew said, that movie is so good, so taut and tense, that after a while, you don't really care. But I was surprised just because when I first saw Crawl, I was like, this movie rules because these gators are freaking there. And 5 years later, it's like, didn't take me out of it. The movie does its job, but I was like, eh. So I say all that to say, at first I was like, oh man, dude, is it just, and not even a lot, but just a little, like, I can see it's a CGI bear. Once we kick into our main story, I thought this was one of the best examples, for the same reasons you said. It just works, you believe he's there. There's never really any discongruency. I think that's an accomplishment itself, because CGI is really tough, even when it's a studio. Even with the newer, like I said, I think the newer Godzilla Kong is a little thing down from the gorgeous crispness of Godzilla vs. Kong.
Because they exaggerate, and then they don't know when to stop. And when they overstuff it, it becomes so blurry that your eyes cannot actually understand what they're looking at.
Like breast implants.
For
At
instance.
a certain point, you just got to stop.
Yeah. Thank God I did.
I mean, that depends on your fetish for it. Not that I'm speaking from extreme personal experience.
Aside from sexual deviance, at a certain point, you're just going to look distorted and botched.
Are we still talking about CGI?
I like it.
We now return to MaJaMa.
So the bear is great, and his nose looks good to boop, 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 like a giant fruit snack. The line I was referring to, speaking of tone, they're in the station, and the family's coming back from an event, and the dad says,
"Keep your eyes down, there's some sort of bear over there, probably selling something."
Which Matthew was like, damn, it's amazing how one line can completely define your tone. And I think...
And answer most of your questions, be like, okay, just shut up.
Yeah, that's why, as a student of the craft, nothing will ever fascinate me as much as tone, because you're right. By simply saying, oh, there's a bear.
Which craft are you talking about?
Don't look at him. He's probably selling something.
Sliced cheese? Craft?
Oh,
cheese.
okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You
were flowing.
You get everything you need to know in
Yes.
There's a bear. You get everything in one sentence.
That is one of the things that it popped into my head while I was rewatching it today. One thing I was reminded of the cover page of the script of the Muppet movie, where Jim Henson wrote the note that says, in this movie, nobody gets affected by the fact that they're talking to a bear or a frog or a pig. It's fine, it's accepted. That is one of the biggest flaws of Howard the Duck. Because in half the movie, people are scared about the duck or are surprised about the duck.
What about my life? I'm stranded here, shipwrecked.
Look at this wonderful exhibit.
You see what I mean? I'm a freak, an outcast.
It's so lifelike and realistic.
Bug off.
Hey.
You think that by looking controversial, you're never gonna find a job and just go on collecting unemployment.
Famously, the guy says,
That's a duck. That's a duck, man.
Yeah, but he says,
Jimmy, do you like see what I see? A talking duck?
Yeah, that's it. I've been doing too much toot.
Toot?
How have we not done Howard on this show?
Yeah,
Wow.
we will. Howard. And half the people, they even give him a job with no proof of citizenship.
Yeah, you gotta kind of find that.
He's really cute.
It's either one.
He's really cute. Like, it's crazy that was not an appealing design. It's such a cute design. That ball head.
I think from the side it helps because it's giant, almost like a xenomorph kind of head because it's so long because of the mechanisms.
Yeah.
But face forward, the eyes are pretty creepy.
Because originally it was supposed to be animation, but they couldn't do it.
Like Roger Rabbit?
Something like that.
Really?
Yeah. But in 1986 it was way too...
The fact that... Well, okay, we don't get into that now.
Yeah.
That's the spirit.
This movie is a stellar example of
What
why...
movie?
Why the Mario movie was so disappointing. Because like Matthew said, there's everything... You know, I feel like sometimes when you're into the explicit stuff, of course we love all movies, especially this guy right here, love a good wholesome movie.
Don't wrap us into your delusion.
I feel like sometimes in certain circles, family film becomes a stigma of a word. But any type of movie done at the best of its ability, you know, this is a wonderful film. And what I was going to say is this is why I'm so vehemently disappointed in the Mario movie. Because you could say, dude, that's for kids. No. This is for kids, and this is beautiful and heartfelt and intelligent and
has its own signature style.
Has its own signature, genuinely funny.
Yes, to its comedy and to its storytelling as well.
You're pulling my legs off.
Mario just feels flat and just basic and doesn't have anything defining about it, other than the world that was created prior to the film.
I hate the Mario movie.
This is a family movie that is not offensive.
Yes.
It's smart, it's clever, it has some... I don't want
it's gorgeous to look at.
It's wonderful, and I love all the usage, or like, for instance, when he's in the train station that Mrs. Brown tells him to go in, behind him there is a lost and found sign, and when she says, come in, the found part lights up. So
I didn't catch that.
It has a lot of... Or the petals of the flowers of the trees that they have in the house that go away.
I was like even the scene where they're sneaking into the museum and the family is stacked tallest to shortest inside each little...
in the arch, yes.
Something like that, just kind of very fun.
Yeah,
almost like a story, how you would a storybook page.
Hang on a minute.
There's a comment that Matteo has pointed out to me about clichéness in movies, and I feel like it's the perfect way, kind of really the perfect way to emphasize the strength and the triumphant of this movie, Matteo. I wonder if you know what I'm going to say.
Why are you looking at me?
But there is one song that is, I mean, not one, but there's one in particular that is excessively overused in movies for moments of joy.
I'm walking on sunshine.
Yes, that's
Sean
true. I was actually...
Sean Connery.
Sean
Connery.
I know this man well enough that I knew he was going to bring that up. But what I'm actually talking about is that...
Who lets the dog out?
Also that.
I thought you did it again for effects.
Who let the dog out?
Let me try it. Tell me another song. I tried to say it.
Everybody dance now.
Everybody dance now. Okay.
Hey, back. This movie uses, without an eye roll effect, at least for me, oh, I feel good.
I knew that I would.
Which I think is hands down the most overused moment of joy in a movie, and yet when it's done here, I don't go, oh my God, they're using it. I'm like, Paddington's having fun. That's the testament to this movie, is that everything
you did keep screaming that a lot.
Works.
Yes.
Don't believe I've had the pleasure.
Everything works. I feel like this is how do we highlight every single thing that was great, because this movie also uses. I'm not saying you can't use tropes effectively. I'm like, my God, this movie uses the frigging Looney Tunes, obviously a man drag to sneak into somewhere gimmick, and provides some of the biggest, most genuine laughs of the movie.
Ooh. It's an old photograph.
Sure, you've always been a boo.
The arm grew back, the pinning into it.
And the arm's grown back.
It's a false arm.
We were cracking up the way we would at a Naked Gun joke.
You really can't feel a thing. Huh.
Nothing.
Yes.
How do you do the Looney Tunes drag trope to such wonderful...
You don't have the reveal of the actual photo he has on his ID.
Yeah.
Because he keeps kind of picking apart different things that are in his photo ID versus what he looks like.
The arm grew back was delivered so dryly. It's perfect.
You've changed a bit.
I lost a lot of weight.
Telling me.
And that's my favorite British humor at work, when it's very extremely dry and extremely, or something is.
Something's jamming the system.
I think it's a baguette. Is that peanut butter?
Yeah.
Yes. God, I wish I did notes so I would be like, all this episode is going to be rereading off a checklist of every joke that worked wonderfully, because there's so many. How do we even do it? This is a wonderful movie. It completely lived up to the hype.
Doesn't feel like a cash grab. Doesn't feel like just another IP being turned into a movie. It just feels genuine with a nice message of family is whoever you love, no matter what they look like.
The house opening up to
Yes.
reveal the entire family members.
First thing tomorrow, that bear is out of here.
The Browns are a very curious tribe.
We even have the house guests, the Beethoven, the Harry and the Hendersons. Well, everyone loves them except Dad. Yeah. So I know Dad's going to be grumpy, but it just, everything works. Yes. It doesn't come across as tired. It comes across as wonderful. Let me try to go to the beginning and everyone just point out the parts that...
No, I'm not going to do
were
that.
So beautiful. The train station, I didn't notice the found thing, but it just perfectly says Paddington above his head when the mom's asking for a name. Oh,
I saw that.
Here's something I wanted to point out, because this to me is, again, the craft of movies. It's not not new at all to, like, okay, feed a pigeon, up, feed a pigeon again, up, that comes back with the little 2 breadcrumbs we dropped to tie into the end. It's not anything reinventing the wheel.
He didn't feed the pigeons.
But when a movie, he fed it the first time.
Did he?
Yeah, that's why they all came.
At the translation, when he says,
You hungry? Me too. But this is all I've got left, and it's really just for emergency. You would like a marmalade sandwich? I always keep one for emergencies.
So do I. I keep mine in here.
Oh.
For later.
We now return to MaJaMa.
Oh, look, Henry, it's perfect.
You want to call him Ketchup?
Going back to Mario, at the end of the movie, there's something like,
Specify.
Bro, our powers are...
What? The new Mario.
Oh, I'm sorry, forgive me, the new Mario movie. At the end, there's the moment where it's like...
Nothing can hurt us as long as we're together.
It feels completely unearned, so it...
Plus, it's literally almost written verbatim like that.
Yes.
So there's no clever way to put it. It is just blunt.
Yeah.
So it feels like...
Your face looks...
like a cauliflower.
It feels like you can see the sleight of hand is if you did a magic trick where the entire thing is I do this and I go away, but you do it shittily, so I see you palm it.
Yeah.
And what it does
What are you
is
palming, man?
one simple
I don't
thing ruins the entire effect.
I beg your pardon?
It's not anything that new or dazzling, but the movie's just so well that I'm like, the pigeons. Yeah, I didn't expect that or see that coming. But when a movie is not good with it, it's like you see the mechanics, like that's what the phrase "seeing it from a mile, coming from a mile away." Okay, and he's going
No,
to.
they turn,
Luigi said the line, "Let's team up." But here's just like, the pigeons. It was like a surprise. It wasn't anything new or dazzling.
They turn what was a recurring joke in the movie as actually a plot point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or at least a resolution of.
Oh, and the friggin' I am left alone in the bathroom and I'm a fish out of water, so I am destroying everything. I thought of that because we just came off Kazam.
I am Kazam!
Well, I'm really happy for you.
Where I totally agreed with Mateo's, because this is an obnoxious kid I'm stuck with. Sometimes, like I said, Mateo hates these type of characters. Sometimes I'm like, whoa, dude, they're not that bad. That one we totally agreed. Imagine if there was a scene. There probably was a scene. Imagine if that kid from Kazam had I was left alone, I wrecked the bathroom. You'd be like, I want him to die. In this one, again, this is nothing new. There's tons of fish out of water, like he wrecks the room. But it's just like the whole time you're still like, this is an adorable bear doing mishaps, and I'm happy to be watching him ruining the bathroom as opposed to this little piece of shit.
And the thing that I find it amazing the first time, and every single time I see it, they were able to capture with a CGI creature, so with something that doesn't exist, but they were able to capture something that only Peter Sellers was able to do it, like the scene in The Party where he destroys the bathroom. Is of that level. It's just like understated. It's not. Imagine once again. I go to Disney, and granted, they probably would have made it more for the kids, so the bear would have been more frantic and more just like kind of like Donald. It's just like going crazy. Instead, he has. I mean, just the expression that is attached to.
That was the facial expression talking about before he falls?
Yeah.
Because that was beautiful.
Because he is almost neutral, and then all of a sudden he turns the eyes, and just like by turning the eyes, it makes the whole scene. With imagining it instead of, it's like, or the scene with the scotch tape that he gets. That is Peter Sellers. That is really, it's something that is amazing how they managed to do it without, it's still in the realm of plausibility of the...
Well, yes, it's so subtle that there's a believability to all his actions.
And this is 10 years ago. Was this motion capture or no?
I don't know.
Because it's pretty damn impressive. I think anything like Apes or even Godzilla Kong, there's always, or even, I guess the new Apes, still Apes, but there's always...
Lord of the Rings.
No? Gollum is not?
Gollum is motion capture.
No, I feel like there's usually nowadays always that. So I wonder if this was a guy with dots or if not.
Cappuccino.
Oh, I was thinking that.
Because if it wasn't, that's amazing.
They duct tape 3 caps together.
Sabotage.
Also, it's amazing that this show flips our lifelong thing where I love to just stomp over people. And I'm such a pretentious douchebag that I'm like in the middle of an argument and Matthew's like dropping punchlines. I'm just like, dude, stop! You can't just throw jokes in the middle of everything. I'm trying to get points out, and it's like the whole world turns topsy-turvy.
This is revenge for Dad. Actually, this is revenge for every person in your life who you ever met and spoken to for more than 5 minutes.
Just anyone you've spoken to in existence. The guy at the bus station from 5 years ago.
Hang on a minute.
I also would like to point out our human cast.
Yes.
Who is wonderful. I don't know if I've seen the father before. I absolutely loved him.
One of the probably the most popular thing that he is, the most famous thing that he's been in is Downton Abbey.
I don't suppose there are any lists of survivors yet?
I understand most of the ladies were taken off in time.
You mean the ladies in first class? God help the poor devils below decks. on their way to a better life. What a tragedy.
Okay, so he's never seen it.
I
The
can't,
mom,
dude, I
the mom, you saw her very well.
Godzilla.
The Shape of Water. Let's go with something a little more classy.
Damn.
Please.
Damn. You ask why I talk shit about y'all Godzilla people, man.
No, Godzilla is a popcorn movie. Shape of Water is classy.
That was amazing.
The kids are functional.
Classy.
Yes. Nicole Kidman also, she strikes the right tone for the villainous villain who's...
Yeah, she played it very well. Everyone found exact, because there's a,
Yes.
it's not, you're trying to kill him, yes, but it's not evil.
No, exactly.
So it's Diet Coke
and
evil,
it's fun
but she,
that she is her in first person. She's not.
Yeah,
she
she
doesn't have
plays
any
it
minions.
perfectly.
Or
Yeah.
something. She's great.
Yeah.
Yes?
Honeypot, this is Fierce Eagle.
What?
It's Mr. Curry. I don't know if you recall, but I did suggest that we adopt code names. You are Honeypot and I'm Fierce
Yes,
Eagle.
of course.
And Peter Capaldi is always wonderful.
Like
the,
she
the neighbor.
really, that's the exact tone.
The
Because if you're
anonymous
too,
call.
if you're too evil, it's like that's not this
Yeah.
movie. If you're too light, it's like it requires a little more than that. It's
And as the
There it
voice
is.
of Paddington.
Ben Whishaw.
Just
read the credits.
That's why I didn't put it.
Where is he from?
Skyfall, and well, he's the Neo Q.
Oh yeah.
Just relax. That's it, lovely. Now, you may feel a small
Christ!
prick.
And also he found a tone.
Oh. I mean, I know what you're talking about.
Okay. He found a voice tone that
It's
it
like
was.
Michael Showalter. That just means your battery's low.
Yes. Say something.
Hey, it's me.
It still works.
Yeah, shut up, man.
That is extremely rude.
So I didn't replace.
Yes.
That, but you left it on last time. But he he found the right tone of voice that is plausible, is not too cutesy,
Yeah.
is not
No, absolutely,
is great
Yeah.
for.
Marmalade? My uncle always kept a marmalade sandwich in his hat, in case of emergency.
You know, I did inhale, didn't I? You know, I think the second one became a little more what you would expect from it, but this almost reminds me, in a funny way, of the first Sonic, which is not this level, but I still feel like
they found
a way that I would. Have you seen it, Mateo?
Yeah.
The second one I feel like
I
became,
haven't seen the second one.
The second one to me, at least from remembering seeing it, became more of like okay, just chunk out the Sonic movie. But
Do they even care at this point?
The
Probably
first
not.
one, I felt like again.
No,
Ben,
yeah,
maybe it's the Ben that tipped me off because Ben
Shapiro.
Ben
Stein.
Ben Schwartz is Sonic. I don't know if
I see your Schwartz.
And I see your Schwartz is as big as mine.
I don't know if my brain did a Ben to Ben thing, but I kind of feel like not exactly the same. Again,
It's not Ben Schwartz. It's the guy from.
What? I'm talking about Sonic.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, he's the voice. Never mind. He looks like Michael Shaw. He looks like that guy that we said.
I don't know. I feel like
You know
what?
No.
Ben Schwartz looks like
A cauliflower.
who does the voice of Paddington? Mike
Ben Whishaw.
Ben Whishaw.
Does he?
Not really.
No.
Yeah.
It's exact.
Oh.
Hold on. Keep talking. Ben what?
Whishaw. I don't know.
Oh, never mind. You're right.
I thought of.
No, I mean, he looks. Hold on.
I guess as far as having your cutesy main character actually work and interact well and not be insulting, thing. Again, different levels, but I do think there's a little something special to the first Sonic. Second one seemed to kind of.
The only thing that I had biggest problem.
I guess they're both white.
Okay, that's
Close
something.
enough.
And from a distance, from like 22 miles,
If you
they
keep your eyes
look like,
closed.
Give someone 6 beers and some acid, punch them in the head, and ask them to look the same, and be like, close enough.
What I'm
Why did
looking
you
at-
do this? The trip's turning bad just for 2 pence. Why?
The only thing that I have to say about Sonic is that a character that is known for being fast, so much so that she...
So, as I crashed into the cold, dark water of the Pacific, I realized a few things. A, I have no idea where I'm going. B, saltwater stings.
Then the whole movie, he's in the car with James Marsden.
You're lazy.
Yeah, but still, it's at least...
I mean, they do the Quicksilver thing with the freeze, but...
Yeah, but the whole thing is that he has to go and recuperate his rings, and it seems that is very important, and so...
Oh, yeah.
But whatever. I digress.
Maybe James Marsden needs to be there for...
money.
Yes.
After Hop...
Come on, Fred! Keep hopping! That's the spirit! The student is becoming the master. The Padawan is becoming the Jedi. The human being is becoming the Easter Bunny.
He was in Hop?
Yeah.
Well, what's the movie with Russell Brand? The rabbit.
Hop. Russell Brand does the voice of the bunny, and then he makes a cameo.
James Marsden supported the rape of Josh Peck.
He supported it?
No.
He
Get in there, buddy! Come on! I know it's tough when they're crying, but keep going.
And he was one of the guys who wrote one of the letters of support to the guy who raped Drake Bell.
Dear the guy who raped Drake Bell. I wrote you, but you still ain't calling.
We now return to MaJaMa.
Hello. I'm looking for Montgomery Clyde.
Well, that's my father.
The explorer, Montgomery Clyde.
That's right. Come on in out of the cold. I'll be right down.
Oh.
Okay, so we meet our family. He gets into the
What are you
house.
talking about, man? We saw the film already.
The destruction.
You're embarrassing yourself, man. Worst of all, us.
And there are nice touches, like the fact that the father was very adventurous when he was just married, and then they have the son, and he is overly protective, and the mom is stuck with, because she's an illustrator, she's stuck with the perfect man, the perfect hero.
Yes, that was a nice touch.
He becomes the hero, and so they are very nice. There are no loose ends.
No, yeah. I was like, even the dad change of heart. I think he first has like his expression changes when they're in the bedroom, and the kids are drawing Paddington. You can kind of see it in his face. He's kind of warming up to him, but they space it over nicely, a nice amount of time.
Yeah,
it's not just an instant quick fix.
Yeah,
it seems very genuine.
Yeah, no, it's extremely well.
The hero thing is another great example of that's not reinventing the wheel in any way, and yet when I saw it, because the movie did a job, I go, oh.
Yeah.
Another movie would be like, let me guess, your husband's going to pop up as the hero. It's so beautiful. You can do anything when you treat your craft right and get the tone right. You're a magician.
The orphanage gate sign.
The authorities will house you in some kind of government facility.
What? Like an orphanage?
No, not an orphanage.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Once again, makes me think of Cocaine Bear, where you do those quick snaps.
That's how you do a cutaway.
Or like put a joke in there.
Not an orphanage. It would be more like an institution for young souls whose parents have sadly passed on.
Yes.
Like
is the one that I was telling you of oh god. Mr. Peabody and
the new one.
The cartoon.
Said it was actually pretty great.
Yes, it's very funny that they say
Marie was a woman with a prodigious appetite for all things covered with frosting, but her expensive tastes made her the target of much criticism.
Why?
Because, Sherman, during Marie's reign, the common people of France were exceedingly poor.
Got any bread?
No! I'm exceedingly poor!
Well, here's the thing. I feel like sometimes a movie comes out like this, and we almost get this, ultra cynicism hanging over everything. We're like, wait, that movie is good. Every once in a while, you'll feel like maybe it's a lesser, not as promoted movie, and it's like, wait, that thing is actually really good. I feel like you should be able, in theory, to make anything work. So, like, there should never be an eye roll over the idea of a movie. Like, even nowadays, like, hey, we're doing the nth reboot or we're doing the umpteenth whatever. Like, in theory, with the craft applied, you should be able to make anything, any
What about
idea
a
work.
romantic comedy between an 80-year-old and a 7-year-old?
The what?
A romantic comedy between an 80-year-old and a 7-year-old.
Well, that if you edge it a little, don't we have Harold and Maude as a lauded cult classic?
Well, she is 80 and he is 7.
Teen.
A teen, yes. I was remiss to
I was holding back a laugh.
to mention Julie Walters, who plays the housekeeper slasher.
Yes.
She is fantastic as per usual, from Billy Elliot, among the other things.
God, imagine.
What?
Watching Billy Elliot?
I could teach you on your own if you want.
We couldn't afford it.
I'm not doing it for the money, Billy.
But what about Dad?
He doesn't need to know.
And what about me boxing in that?
Oh, for fuck's sake, Billy, if you want to piss about with your little mates, that's fine with me.
Well, all right, don't lose your blob.
Blob.
It's a great movie.
I'm sure it is. I could never.
No, I think
it's
not a musical.
It's little boys dancing on rooftops in London and dancing in an orphanage, and they won't go to sleep, and they're like, "Oh, you can do whatever you want," and they were wearing
You're
a
thinking
scarf.
about Annie.
It's the hard knock life for us. It's the hard knock life for us.
I mean, it's about a dancer.
Will someone oh God.
You would be really surprised because it is about a boy who likes to dance, but is completely. It would surprise you positively. I mean it sincerely. I know you. I wouldn't tell you if you tell me. Let's watch another movie that you would like if you were not that adverse to musical is Hair, because of all the songs are excellent on that point. But I'm very iffy in showing that to you because there are really a lot of songs.
I mean, he took Spirited well. He really did.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
Spirited.
but Hair being based on a musical, it's really musical heavy.
Okay.
I mean, sorry, song heavy. So
It just they all seem like such assholes when they start singing about their lives.
True.
I mean, I hate people talking to me about themselves or their lives or anything.
What if
in
they
general?
sing?
But that makes it that much worse.
Matthew, good morning. My wife is leaving me. Dude, why are you in my office?
That's how Dad would wake us up for church. He would come in with an acoustic guitar and put his leg on the bed and start singing.
You know he did that for the comedic effect.
Yeah. It doesn't change the fact that it happened to me. Your uncle raped you for comedic effect. It still happened!
And why was everyone laughing? Why was he doing it in front of everyone?
Listen, we can't talk about this anymore. YouTube is going to cut our videos because we're raping.
Yes.
Talking about raping.
Right in, slip.
It was directed by the director of Wonka.
Which one?
Oh. Well, you know what, dude? It was tough for me, but it got very good reviews and did a lot of money. Wonka.
I don't know, but I've seen clips.
You sent me that thing, and I feel like I don't know how Chalamet is being, not in a hater way. He sent me a montage, and it does seem like, oh, Gene Wilder was a certain way, but literally this is how. Wait, stop that, reverse it. What are you like? What is this, dude? No. But that gives me faith. Honestly.
Did he get inspired by Johnny Depp?
Even Johnny did his own thing.
No, because Depp is, wow, you're really weird.
Johnny Depp said that he drew inspiration from Michael Jackson, among the others.
You know, there was a string of Johnny's weird, he should be our savior, but it flopped, like his Wonka, his Mad Hatter, something else. I feel like for a while it was just like, well, you know, Johnny Depp's...
The Lone Ranger.
Yeah, you know, Johnny Depp's going to kill this, like, wacky role, and then it's just like...
Too much eyeliner, and he shouldn't be doing cologne ads.
Yeah, that's really rough. The cologne ad is really rough. It's like, dude, you're a douchebag.
Oh. Yes.
You
Johnny
just-
I mean, unless you're already
Well,
like
both of them. They did. Also, Chalamet did some.
I'm sure, yeah.
And I love you. Yes, I love you.
Oh well. Anyways, Paddington is great.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Let's not even vote. Yeah, I think it's offensive if we voted.
Yes.
You know, it's funny. Yeah, I guess there is. You're like, I literally want to have a list and spend the hour just going highlighting all the stuff I love. But you're right. It's kind of like, yeah, it's great. See it.
I like it.
It sounds like we're wrapping up. But one last thing I wanted to highlight for a couple of reasons is speaking about a movie doing its job well and having a magic ability to do anything.
Paddington.
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 Paddington. Very clearly, this movie, no one on Earth would think they're going to kill Paddington.
I thought you were sending him to Peru, but...
I said I was sending him where he belongs, which in his case is the Natural History Museum.
The reason this movie is so damn good is that when he's crawling up the also awesome little, talk about just the perfect visuals, the Dustbuster.
And there was a setup earlier in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Payoff.
Totally forgot that. When he is crawling up and then that slips and he's about to fall back, I've been on this planet 41 years. I know you're not going to kill him in a movie, but I was like, oh. And then it shows him falling back. And similar to Toy Story 3, I love when you can also have a little bit of genuine terror in your children's movie. I was like, oh my God, the idea of him falling back into fire is horrifying. And I knew they weren't going to do it, but it's still like, oh God, no, please. Oh, they got him. And that's how you do it, because you can make anything fresh when it works.
It's the line that Disney.
Study this movie.
The line that Disney used to say: "For every laughter, there needs to be a tear," and that's why in every single movies of his, there is one moment of danger, of some sort, and I still get misty eyes when Herbie tries to kill himself from the Golden Gate Bridge.
A lot of people do that.
Yes. Well, there is a whole documentary.
Yeah.
Usually on those types of days, I always soak in the beauty of the bay and look over to Alcatraz.
It's magic.
Yeah, this is the perfect movie.
Give him a chance. He might just surprise you.
We now return to
MaJaMa. Although I don't look like anyone else, I really do feel at home. I will never be like other people, but that's all right, because I'm a bear.
I'm very excited now because, again, hearing about these, I heard, holy cow, not only is Paddington great, but Paddington 2 pulls the classic Godfather, Godfather 2, Alien, Aliens, T2, 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 T2.
And 2 for tea.
That whole like ultra rare case is like, you think this is good, the sequel ramps it up even more.
If you think I'm tired today.
If you think I'm tired today, wait till you see me tomorrow.
And I hear we get Hugh Grant perfectly vamping as a villain. So maybe we'll do Paddington 2, but guys, I think, are we all voting perfect?
Let's express our feeling.
Let's express our feeling as a unanimous group that none of us are throwing anything, because guys, this lived up to this is how you do it. I would recommend this to any film student. I would recommend this to any family. I would recommend this to anyone who wants to have a hour and a half of joy.
Because it's
really great.
It's magically, at the same time, a kid's movie, because a kid would be completely enchanted
they'd fall in love with them.
by the bear, and an adult movie because they're not offended by a stupid plot or something.
And it's genuinely great humor.
And genuinely great humor.
Very funny. I'm talking about belly laughs.
Yes,
Laugh out loud.
delivered perfectly, absolutely flawlessly. It's great.
It's great. Fantastic job.
It's great.
MaJaMa.
Check it out, guys. Hopefully made for a good episode with all the love. But yeah, I think we were completely enraptured over this. Tomas, what did you...
Oh, I got to form his nub into the shape of a thumb. Does that look like? That look like it?
That really doesn't, but we understand what's happening. Thank you, Tomas. We appreciate your efforts. So, guys, check out Paddington 2. 100% recommended.
Not Paddington.
Sorry.
Oh,
well, I mean, check out Paddington 2, but
yeah,
yes, also check out this first. You know, have a ball. Go have a party with that. From everyone here at MaJaMa, this has been a wonderful episode, and we hope you come on back from our couch to yours next week. And I don't know if we ever got this sign-off line, but I'm going to sign off with, damn, that's a good-looking CGI bear nose.
I don't know if it would be applicable anywhere else, but yes.
It works today.
Maybe in Paddington 2.
Yeah.
It will work too. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I cannot think of. No, because Fuzzy Bear is a real bear.
It's a good nose, though.
I mean,
very punchable.
Yes.
Big-ass fruit snack nose. Wonder if it's dry like rubber or wet.
I hope it's wet.
Imagine. Morning, Paddington.
You know what that is, Paddington? That makes you a man.
MaJaMa. MaJaMa.
Last night, Queen Elizabeth's love for movies almost turned fatal for the wise monarch. After meeting with Paddington the bear.
Happy Jubilee, man. And thank you for everything.
That's very kind.
Going on a mission with James Bond. And catastrophically attempting to boogie with Mickey Rooney. The Queen wanted to meet with the cast of Jurassic Park for an afternoon tea, but instead, she tragically met with an afternoon T-Rex.